Hi everybody, this is JJ Long from JJArtworks, and welcome to episode 1 of the Legend of JJArtworks podcast. I am super excited to be recording this for you guys now. I've been wanting to record a podcast for, I don't know, like the past year and a half or so, and I'll be the first one to admit that I'm probably coming out with this podcast a bit more prematurely than I would like. My vision was to be kind of like a multi-millionaire and then come start a podcast show and being like, hey everybody, this is how I built this thing, and having some more prestige, I guess, or clout, or whatever you want to call it. But what I'm realizing is, or the reason why I really want to do this podcast now is because I have this need and strong desire, this deep-seated desire to express myself as an artist, as a creative entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a human being. And it's just something I need to get out. And I'm hoping that by sharing my story and my company's story with you guys, that will be able to add some value to the artist and creative entrepreneur community and anyone else that's listening. We just really want to help out other people and lend some honest and sincere advice. So that's the main reason why we want to do this podcast. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a humble person, and I really want to infuse this podcast with mindfulness and a positive attitude. And I really want the artist and creative entrepreneur community to kind of look at the Legend of JJArtworks as a place where you can feel safe and accepted, and just a place where you can have a buddy to listen to, basically. So that's really the main theme of the show, is just helping out other entrepreneurs, sharing our story, our journey as we grow as a company, and also work-life balance. I think that's something that I definitely want to touch upon, because I think there's plenty of entrepreneurs out there that are talking about the mechanics of running a business and everything like that. And I'll touch upon some of that stuff too. But, I like to talk about things like, if I were to get depressed one week, I want to let you guys know that I'm depressed, and this is how it's affecting my business, or if something exciting happens, I want to share that with you guys too. So I really want to talk about work-life balance and how that is really an integral part of running a business and kind of living the whole lifestyle. I want to talk to you guys. Actually, I'm filming this at the same time, so every podcast episode I'm actually filming it for YouTube as well, so I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone here. And I get a little cheat sheet here of things that I want to talk about, because there's a lot of terrain I want to talk about in this first episode. So the next thing I want to talk about is basically the title, The Legend of JJArtworks. So I'm sure you guys are probably like, what kind of a title is that? Like, what the heck is JJ thinking? And the first thing I'm going to say is, it's not like, I don't want the emphasis to be on me. I'm not saying like I'm the legend of JJArtworks, like it's all about me. I promise to God that I do not have an ego, and I'm the first one to tell you that I do not know everything about everything. I am not a guru. I am not an expert. I am just a normal, average, everyday person that's grounded in reality. I'm a down-to-earth guy, and I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. No one knows who I am right now. It's totally fine. And so I'm not like the legend. That's not the meaning I want behind legend, because I know there's a couple of meanings of legend. What I want to talk about is the legend of JJArtworks, like our story, our tale, our saga, our journey on how we're building the company. So that's what I really mean by legend. And the other thing that, is kind of a fun thing that I think about, and this was actually a big decision on why I titled the show The Legend of JJArtworks, is because I think of The Legend of Zelda. And, this is a full disclaimer, I'm a little bit of a geek. I totally love fantasy movies. I like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Star Wars, absolutely. I love Star Wars. Have you guys seen The Mandalorian? Such a good little series there. You got to check it out. Anyways, so The Legend of Zelda actually has some deep meaning for me because it symbolizes the first time I accomplished something in my life. And, I think I was maybe like, I don't know, 8, 9, maybe like 10 years old or something. And it was the first video game that I ever beat. It was the first video game that I ever beat. And I remember sitting in my bedroom being like 8 or 9 years old or whatever and being like, wow, I beat this game. And I just remember the feeling of pride that came over me. And I remember, because I've been trying to beat this game for like 2 months straight. I'd wake up early, like an hour, 2 hours early before school and play this video game and, try to beat Ganon. I need to beat this guy. And I finally did it. It was some morning and I ran into my parents' bedroom and I'm like trying to wake them up. I'm like, I beat Zelda. I beat the video game. And they're like, that's great, JJ. Just, go to bed. That's awesome. But regardless, it was the first video game that I ever beat, and it was the first time I ever accomplished anything and, set out with some intention and accomplished my goal. And it was just such a gratifying feeling. So, the Legend of JJArtworks, it kind of lends that playful, fun type of personality to the podcast. And that's what I really want the podcast to be all about as well, is I want it to be fun. I don't want this to feel like work. I just want to come talk to you guys, have a good time, and that's about it. So that's the title of the show, just so you guys know we're all caught up. Awesome. Good job. So now I want to talk about the structure of the show. And I want to talk to you guys about, what the point is. And basically, I want to share my stories with you guys. So the first half of the show, I want to talk about stories from my past, things that I've been through as an artist and a creative entrepreneur for the past 15 years. And I want to kind of share with you guys some of the lessons that I've learned on my journey up to this point. And I've been through a lot with, between playing with bands, being a self-employed oil painter, acting, and being a writer now, and doing voiceover work, and what else do I do? Oh, paint parties. I cannot wait to tell you guys about the paint party business. That's the thing that is definitely pushing us forward in a big way, and I'm just so grateful for that part of the company as well. But anything that I've learned over the past 15 years, I want to share with you guys for the first half of the episode. The second half of the episode, I want to talk to you guys about what I've done in the previous week to kind of accomplish our goals to take us into the future. So I really want to talk to you guys about, different things that I did the previous week, like different tasks I did, different things I was going through mentally, emotionally, psychologically. I really want this podcast to be an honest and transparent place for you guys to kind of digest some sincere content. So that's kind of a big thing that I want to talk about. I really want to share with you guys our journey as it's unfolding, as we're writing our legend, and I think that'll be kind of beneficial to other artists and creative entrepreneurs as well. And then the last part of each episode, I'm just going to do some end credits where I kind of give a shout out to maybe some people, or I kind of give you our website links and stuff like that. So that's basically it. First half, talking about stories of the past. Second half, telling you about the present and where we plan on going in the future. And then just kind of a tail tie-in at the end with the end credits. So that's the structure. And then I wanted to kind of give you guys a few quick selfish reasons why I'm doing the podcast. I mean, I pretty much gave you the overarching why, but these are just some kind of little selfish reasons. And like I said, I like being a fairly transparent person. I'm pretty honest. So the first thing is, I want to become a better public speaker. I want to get better public speaking. I want to be more eloquent with my words. I want to maybe at some point, talk from a stage and maybe give a seminar or a workshop or do some coaching or something. I mean, that's probably years down the road, but that's definitely something on my to-do list. So I want to talk to you guys. So that's another thing that I'm trying to gain from this podcast. Also, like I mentioned earlier, as I record these podcasts, I'm actually also doing it on YouTube. So I'm able to kind of kill two birds with one stone and create content for both the streaming services like Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, and Pandora, and wherever else you listen to your podcast. But then also I'm able to actually create video content and simultaneously put it on YouTube. So that's another kind of win-win situation for us. Also, this is kind of a funny one, and you guys can laugh, I don't care. But where I am filming this for YouTube as well, I want to lose weight. I want to look good for the camera. I'm not going to lie. And I think, a lot of other actors and, people that act, work in front of the camera, they want to look good. So, I really want to lose like another 10 pounds. I got to lose some stuff off the midsection here. And, after a couple of months, if you see me kind of blowing up and I'm getting a little bit fatter, I want you guys to hold me accountable and be like, JJ, come on, let's get with it. You're losing yourself here. So that's another thing. Also, another little selfish thing is I'm learning how to use my audio recording software a little bit more regularly. And I use Logic Pro X, which is an Apple-based software. And I really need to get better at using it and learning the ins and outs of it. So I think by doing a weekly podcast, this will kind of give me some practice on doing that. Also, full disclosure, disclaimer here, more brand recognition. Like I want my company JJArtworks to get more exposure. So, we're already on the regular platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we did YouTube last year for the first time, and that was a great experience. But now we're able to get more exposure on the audio, the airwaves. So now you can listen to us and things about our company while you're driving to work, or while you're commuting from the gym, or while you're doing the dishes or doing the laundry or something. So I'm really excited to kind of start reaching people in a new way like this. Very, very excited about that. And yeah, that's about it. There's more exposure on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, all that stuff. It's really exciting. I'm really excited about this next chapter for the company. And then lastly, for today, for this episode, I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse at our new Patreon page. So if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's basically a subscription-based platform where you can help support the podcast. And I spent a lot of time the past few days kind of building out our Patreon page. And it's just a way for you guys to support the podcast. And you can donate a couple dollars a month, or whatever's in your budget. Don't feel like you have to do this. No pressure at all. But it's just another way to kind of support our podcast and keep the podcast moving along, because I plan on having this podcast be running for a very long time. And also, and I want you guys to hold me accountable on this. So I want 2020 to be the year of consistency for me and my company. And I plan on coming out with a podcast episode once a week. And I'm shooting for like Monday, Tuesday, like early in the week. So we kind of hit you with a big dose of positivity and inspiration early in the week. And hopefully that energy carries over throughout the week. And then, the next Monday or Tuesday, we'll hit you up with another episode. So that's kind of the goal with this. And if for some reason I do not post every week, I give you full permission to put a flaming bag of dog poop on my doorstep, or to send me hate mail, or do whatever horrific thing you want to do, because I'm telling you, I want to make this a habit. I want to make this something that I do every week, because I want to add value to other people's lives. And that's what I want to do. So that's basically this episode. Also, really quickly, there's so many things that I'm not even touching upon on the spreadsheet in front of me, but each episode's going to be about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm pretty realistic that everyone's pretty busy, and especially if you're married and have kids, you probably have less time. So I really want to keep these episodes like a quick 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm not doing like these half an hour, 45-minute, hour epic podcasts. I really want to keep them short and sweet in the beginning. And then as I hear from you guys and hear what you guys want from me, then we can kind of take it a little bit further and maybe do interviews and all that stuff. But right now it's just going to be me with the mic on the camera and I'm just really excited for the future for this. So I look forward to talking with you guys in episode 2, and definitely when you get a chance, check out our Patreon page. Again, you can check that out at www.patreon.com/JJArtworks, and I'll actually leave the link in the show notes. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll leave it in the description on YouTube or on Facebook. And definitely please check out our official website at www.JJArtworks.com, where you can learn more about our company and all the services that we offer. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode. I'll talk to you soon.